So look at the Sox lineup, brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. A little bit of a different look because there's no Mookie Betts in there for the first time in almost 100 games. Brock Holt is in right field, Andrew Benintendi in left, Dustin Pedroia at second. Hanley Ramirez the DH with Jackie Bradley in center, Mitch Moreland at first. Xander Bogaerts trying to fight his way out of a skid. He's at short, Sandy Leon doing the catching, and Rafael Devers is at third base batting ninth. Red Sox facing a guy they've never faced before, right-hander Andrew Moore. He is 1-2 with a 5.70 ERA. He is 23 years old.
Yeah, he's a local boy. He's down from, or he's actually up here from Oregon. Went to OSU.
Now, here's a look at Seattle defensively around Moore. And on the infield, it's Seager Segura, who's the hero last night with the game-winning hit in the 13th inning. Espinosa and Valencia. Gamble, Heredia, and Haniger in the outfield, young outfield. And Carlos Ruiz doing the catching for Andrew Moore. The umpires brought to you by Toyota's website for deals, buyatoyota.com. Paul Nart has the plate today. It's Ben May at first, Carlos Torres at second, Dana DeMuth at third. And where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by Toyota. Visit Compra2Toyota.com to see Toyota deals not seen on TV.
I've yet to see a Toyota deal on TV just yet. I keep looking for that deal.
You're just saying. 73 degrees right now and sunny. Keep looking, Mike.
It's a fantastic day right now.
Could not be better. And they're expecting a crowd of about 40,000 today, and then certainly not all in the ballpark yet. As Brock Holt leads things off, hitting 196. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. He is 3 for 13 on the trip. And he lines that to right, closing Haniger to make the catch. 1 away.
Well, this kid's got, a really good motion right here. He's straight over the top like an Iron Mike type kid. He's bringing it. Challenging guys right off the get-go.
You mentioned he is from this part of the country, a former Oregon High School Player of the Year. Pitched 3 years at Oregon State. And Seattle chose him in the second round of the 2015 draft. And he'll square off against Andrew Benintendi, who is a great college player. 266 with 12 home runs.
Yeah, you can look at this delivery. He's got great balance right here. He's just coming, rearing back, coming right over the top and coming right at you.
Andrew 4 for 19 on the trip. He's not hit a home run on the trip. Sox haven't hit many. Right now 1 and 4 on this road trip, which ends today.
Yeah, the only ones I've been lucky enough to see is Hanley. I'd really like to see everybody kind of join in on that.
Benintendi did reach base 3 times last night, but the Red Sox would fall in 13. If you were not up to see it, we're not going to blame you, because it was after 3 a.m. back home in New England when the game ended. 2-2 swung on and missed. Now to go strike 3, 2 away.
I'm going to blame that on Felix Hernandez for kind of dragging his feet around the mound early in the game.
Boy, did he.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those were 40 seconds in between pitches.
Yeah, that body language is awful. Well, this is just a great location right here. He's just right over the top. Good young arm.
And he is known as a strike thrower. He won't walk many. Dustin Pedroia at 308, 6 home runs.
Well, he's got great location on his four-seamer. He's bouncing at both sides of the plate, kind of in and out. So we'll see what the Sox can do with this today.
Routine ground ball and hoovered up by Segura, and that'll do it for the Red Sox. They go 1-2-3 here on a beautiful day in Seattle. Chris Sale on the mound today against the Mariners lineup, brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Segura will lead it off. Then it's Ben Gamble out of the 2-hole today. Nelson Cruz, one of the few guys in their lineup who gets anything close to a good swing against Sale. Valencia, Seager, and Heredia, followed by Haniger and Wright. Ruiz does the catching. Espinoza is at second base. So no Robinson Cano today. He has the Chris Sale flu. First pitch will be high for a ball on Segura, hitting .327.
Well, the way Chris is throwing, I mean, that flu may run through the league pretty quickly.
Cano 6 for 26 off him, so it's a good day to rest.
Absolutely. It's a long night last night.
Morning came early for both of these teams. That one sock foul. Red Sox starter presented by your New England Audi dealers. Chris Sale 12-4, 2.48 ERA. Lowest in the American League. He's had a strong history against the Mariners too. 4-1 lifetime against them with a 2.34 ERA.
And not just the Mariners. I mean, we're talking about the American League West. I mean, he's dominated that fairly well.
Really has. Looking for his first K in the book this afternoon. And a 2-2 to Segura. And he puts him away. 95 down the heart. Give you a look at the Red Sox defense, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The youngster Devers, followed by Bogarts, Pedroia, and Moreland around the infield. Outfielders Benintendi, Bradley, and Brock Holt. And Sandy Leon doing the catching today.
Well, this is just a great pitch. He's got him kind of rocked back and forth after a foul ball down there, and he just pounds the inside corner, which I love. I love guys that pitch inside. I mean, you have to dominate the inside corner.
Talented hitter here, and the rookie Ben Gamble has never faced Chris Sale. And he pops it up into right field. In the sun, Brock Holt. So Mookie Betts not playing today just to get a couple of days off in a row. Time of the unlimited baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Sale has lived up to all the expectations and then some so far this year.
Well, he's top 3 everywhere, all over that board. That's amazing. He's doing a great job. I'm really glad he's here.
I mean, those are major league ranks.
Yeah, that's not just the American League. That's all over the league.
Nelson Cruz now, and he's a guy who has had success against Chris Sale. 348 in his career with 2 home runs.
And continuing the trend down and away. He's doing that swing into that breaking ball.
Pops him up on the infield. Moreland coming in. And that's it. Chris Sale gets off to an outstanding start. He gets him 1-2-3 scoreless after 1. Sox win. Plainridge Park Casino donates $777 to the Relay for Life of Greater Attleboro. Thanks for joining us today. It is getaway day for the Sox. Heading back home for a long homestand beginning on Friday. But trying to snap a season-high 4-game losing skid. And Hanley Ramirez in the box last night, blasting his 17th home run. No question when it left the bat. It was gone. It was gone and got out of here in a hurry. Maybe that kind of resonates with Moore because he's pitching him pretty careful off the outside corner. He's gone to 3-0 on him. First time that Hanley has faced him. He has a 5-game hitting streak. Taken all the way and through there for a strike. Moore made his major league debut on the 22nd of June against Detroit. He got the win. He went 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, didn't walk anybody. Well, that's an amazing feat in itself. Young man coming up into the big leagues and not walking anybody for 7 innings. And on cue, he walks Hanley Ramirez. Yeah, he was quite careful with Hanley, and that'll send up Jackie Bradley. Yeah, the only thing that he threw on the other side of the plate was a changeup. Kind of ran across the plate. Jackie 3 for 9 in this series with 1 RBI. He did drive in his 8th go-ahead RBI last night. In a game that went back and forth here. Looked for all the world as if the Red Sox had a victory. That one stalled it into right field down the line. That may go for extra bases all the way to the wall. Hanley taking off for third. He's going to stop there, and it's a double for Jackie Bradley, who left the helmet behind when he took the turn at first. Well, he just doesn't let him get too deep in the count. He knows he throws him a straight fastball. He's going to take a hack at it. He crushed that ball. Jackie with his 17th double. Well, this kid's got very hittable stuff. I mean, there's not a lot of movement on that fastball. You've got to have something that kind of moves left and right, in my opinion, to be successful here. I mean, he's had success because people haven't seen him yet, but if you live like that, you better have a nasty breaking ball and a great changeup to go with. Now Moreland are going to make him pay now, 2nd and 3rd, and nobody out. Mitch down to 241 with 12 home runs. He needs a good day. Yes, he does. He's not alone in the Red Sox lineup. It's certainly true of Xander Bogaerts as well, and Andrew Benintendi. For the Red Sox, as of late, the talented young core has been having issues at the plate. Yeah, we've been very, very quiet at the plate. And the hope is that Nunez will help that. And Eduardo Nunez acquired in the trade last night, but he is not a home run hitter and not a guy who drives in a lot of runs. John Farrell knows this. He's a guy you can do some things with on the bases because he can steal bases. He has 18 stolen bases. You know, the way the Red Sox are built, the way I see it right now, they're kind of built like a National League team. They just don't, they're not hitting like a National League team. Fly ball into left and should be deep enough. Hanley back to tag as the throw comes in. They let it come in. The play at the plate. He is safe at home, and Hanley comes up hobbling. He scores the run, and the Red Sox are on the board, but he's in pain. I'm going to turn that left ankle against that shin guard right there. That was a heck of a throw by Gamble in left field. He may have got like a frog or a Charlie horse or something. Coming in right. Yeah, it's hard to see. Yeah, he just put his shin right up against that right shin. That shin guard right there. Just maybe just kind of cramping up a little bit. Well, let's see if he stays in. He has scored the first run of the day on the RBI by Moreland, Mitch's 44th. And he's going to catch that. Just beating the throw, which is awesome. And then right there, that's the good contact point. So they make him pay for that leadoff walk, and here's Xander Bogaerts. Runner at second base and one down. Red Sox are taking the lead. Hanley getting some attention from a trainer.
There's that typical leadoff walk. It somehow it'll figure its way out all the way down to home.
Xander batting .287 with 6 home runs and is in dire need of a hot stretch here. This road trip has not treated him well. He's 1 for 13, 0 for his last 10.
He's been a little bit under the weather, and he just doesn't seem, himself at the plate.
Maybe still some residual effects from getting drilled on the hand against Tampa Bay, which was before the All-Star break, but some were concerned that he had done some serious damage there, that maybe he had broken that hand. That's how bad it looked at the time.
Right.
He actually came back pretty quickly from it, a couple of days.
You break a bone in your hand. I mean, it's not that they can just like cast it up. If you're going to play, it's going to be painful.
And even if it's not broken, ball player got to have his hands.
You have to have your hands, and it's just, a minimal amount of swelling in between the bones in your hand, even if it's just a bruise, will throw your hands completely off.
Also noticed he has been pitched exceedingly tough and has been chasing pitches outside the zone, and they've been working him away.
Well, when things start going a little bit bad, you start pressing a little bit, and it does seem that he's pressing at the plate, he's trying to turn this on, and he's just taking hacks at some pitches that are way off the plate.
3-2. The Yankees have carried a 9-5 lead over Cincinnati into the 9th inning. Tampa Bay has defeated Baltimore 5-1. So the two clubs chasing the Red Sox in the division have either won or are very close to winning today.
They've made some moves. The Yankees made some moves and improved their club. And, Cincinnati's not a walkover team, but they're handling them pretty well.
And a high pop foul out of play. I will say this, though. I think the Red Sox are looking forward to facing Cincinnati. They're 41-59 and 12 games back in that Central Division, which is not a very tough division, but to your point, there's some guys in that lineup that can hurt you.
Yeah, if you take a deep breath and you relax and you don't concentrate on what you're doing, they'll beat you up in a hurry.
3-2 to Xander Bogaerts here with 1 down. Line to right field, and Canning will make that catch. Holding at second base, Jackie Bradley, so 2 down. We'll tune in to NESN on August 15th and 16th for coverage of the WEEI NESN Jimmy Fund Radio Telethon presented by Arbella Insurance Foundation. Arbella Insurance Foundation, here for the Jimmy Fund, here for good.
Well, I like our guys against this young Moore. Over the top fastball. We're a pretty good fastball hitting team. We see a lot of pitches, so I think we're going to be a little bit more patient today.
Leone will climb in at 242 with 5 home runs. Sandy with 24 driven in, looking for number 25 right here. Trying to pick up Jackie Bradley at second.
Well, he's coming right at us. He's bringing what he's got. He's coming right at us.
Andrew Moore making his first career start against the Red Sox here this afternoon. He's 6 feet, about 195 pounds. That's a strike.
It's kind of a questionable strike. He didn't really seem like he wanted to call that, and then just kind of.
Yeah,
I think I'll go with it.
Close enough. Chris Sale's going to get that call today.
Yes, he is. He deserves it. He's proven that he can hit that spot time and time again. And sometimes I think blindfolded.
He's having that kind of year. On pace for Cy Young, the 1-1. Sandy Leone at the plate, and a big hit at the time for the Red Sox. to drive in that run in the 13th inning. As Hanley came home and the Red Sox took the lead.
Great clutch hit right there. That was a tough pitch.
Did not have the lead in the end. And Seattle rallied and scored a couple of runs to really shock the Red Sox. The Sox have come back, taking a 1-0 lead here today.
Whoa. Andrew's starting to mix in his breaking ball and his changeup a little bit more now, instead of just kind of relying on that fastball.
3-2. Devers on deck. Look for that first major league hit here today. 3-2 to Sandy Leon. Peace.
We need to get Sandy on the bag right here just so Devers will have a chance to get that RBI. Put it on that checklist we were talking about.
Now Moore had an outstanding career at Oregon State between 2013 and 15. Went 27-9 with a .210 earned run average. (3-2). And he got him strike 3. So in the end, the Red Sox get the 1 run, and they take the early lead in Seattle. Red Sox tickets from bleachers to boxes. Ace has the lowest prices to all games at Fenway, and all backed with a 200% guarantee. Visit aceticket.com now or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. And my goodness, has it been beautiful here in the great Pacific Northwest. Just sensational for the entire stay for the Red Sox, who are now on top 1-0 here in the second. It'll be Valencia, Seager, and Heredia against Chris Sale.
Well, it hasn't been totally beautiful out here. Our offense has been a little bit lackluster right now.
Well, on the diamond, you make a fair point. Red Sox have lost the first 2 games of the series, but the weather itself has been delightful.
And what just walked into the booth is the Dunkin' Donuts payoff from Anaheim.
It's your milkshake.
It's my milkshake that I got. I won this from Dan Aspen, and I'm going to enjoy it and love it.
Dan, our producer.
Yes.
You're going to have to reveal what the bet was that you won here. As that one is driven into right field, and Brock Holt right there for the grab.
Well, you know, I can't even remember the details on the Dunkin' Donuts question, but we went back with it, and I said, you know, who's going to win? Oh, let's see. Wait. Oh, yes. It was the catch. It was Jackie Bradley catches.
Right.
It was the Aaron Judge catch or the that's my winning catch right there. There it is right there. And that's going to be a nice cold milkshake for me.
You said that would win in our fan vote in our Dunkin' Donuts poll question.
Over the Anaheim catch.
Over the Anaheim catch. And it did. It won big.
Yes, absolutely.
And Dan is a man of his word, and he has paid off because you wanted a milkshake if you won.
That's correct.
Now here's the other catch.
Which is a fantastic catch on its own. And I can see why he wanted to have that catch win.
Sure. But as you said at the time, you know, the catch on Judge, first of all, it was a home run robbing play. It was at Fenway. It was against the Yankees. It was in the Eastern time zone where a lot more people saw it, I think.
Correct. And it was you know, just a little more homey. I mean, there's a lot of factors that went into that.
And once you laid out your argument, Dan looked like a real coward. He tried to back out immediately. So wait a second. I didn't realize you had your act together to that degree, and you're burying me with this. And you said, no, stand by your bet.
It's just a milkshake.
It's just a milkshake, and it is your manhood at the same time. Popped up on a lunge here by Seager, and Leon there in foul territory. 2 down. So the Sailors retired the first 5. So how does it taste?
Almost as good as the Grasshoppers.
You ate last night, yeah.
Almost as good as the Grasshoppers. Yeah, look at this. This is Pick Quick Drive-In. Pick Quick. Burgers and ice cream.
So glad, by the way, that they have already written their check for the advertising that we're giving them.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Daniel, you are the man.
Is it a chocolate?
Yes, it is.
Oh, nice.
It's a good chocolate.
Nice of you to ask for 2 of those, Mike, but that's okay. Here's Heredia with a cut and a miss. He's at 273 with 6 home runs. Now, those Grasshoppers are big here. It's a delicacy in this ballpark, and they sold out of them. The first time they started selling them earlier this season, everybody wanted them.
Well, I could taste why.
You liked them.
I liked them. You know, they weren't bad.
Although you do strike me as a guy who, from the time you were 5 years old, people would go, "Mikey, eat this. Tell us what it is."
Give it to my. You know, it's the life commercial.
Yeah,
give it to Mikey. Mikey will try it.
You were that kid. Even named the same.
Yeah. I think I ate dirt and all kinds of stuff when I was a kid.
And now as an adult, I mean, you've gone through the array of things that you have eaten in your lifetime, and it's impressive.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night. I mean, I was fortunate enough to go over and hunt in Africa, and we consumed a few animals that we hunted. The greater kudu, red hartebeest, impala.
Wow.
We didn't hunt one, but they had some giraffe on hand. So it was actually curried giraffe.
The 2-2, and that's going to drill him. And Heredia hopping out of there, hit by the pitch from Chris Sale. He becomes the first base runner today for Seattle. So they have a man on. Red Sox ahead here 1-0.
He might be happy to be on base, but not happy how he got there. That just got him right off the front of the right ankle.
Heredia runs pretty well. He's aboard in front of Mitch Haniger, the right fielder, the rookie. 257 with 7 home runs. At this moment, the Red Sox are a half game in front of the Yankees, who have 1. And 2 games in front of Tampa Bay. The Rays have won.
Well, I really like the comparison that we had earlier between Sale and Randy Johnson. It's the arm angle is surprisingly similar.
There's that, and there's also the same look in a hitter's eye, as I recall, when the hitter gets down 0-2 on Chris Sale, that we saw for so many years when Randy Johnson got a hitter down 0-2.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the thought of how in the world am I even going to make contact right here? Because the first two, I had zero chance to hit this ball. You know, Randy right here is just that's a nasty slider, and not a bad hitter. He just struck out, and we can't. I don't really know which hitter that one is, but that's still that's Pujols right there. That's it's still a nasty slider.
Pretty good hitter too. Check swing. 3-0 the count.
I just wonder what Sale would look like if he had Heath Hembree's hair. How close to Randy Johnson would he look then?
Pretty darn near. Sale at 6-6, the 3-0, and ball 4. So he's lost the plate a little bit. One of the few times all season a hit batsman and a walk. That'll put runners at first and second for Carlos Ruiz, the catcher. 1-0 here. Some are weighing in, wanting to know why the home plate collision rule, why that wasn't invoked on the run scored by the Red Sox. And part of that rule 601 is the catcher is allowed to block the pathway if in the umpire's judgment he's fielding a throw and contact with the runner was unavoidable, and Gamble's throw was right on a line to home plate.
As you saw the throw coming in, it bounced literally he was on Hanley's left hip, so he had to be there to catch that ball.
So the Red Sox did not argue the Seattle club did not argue the point against the Red Sox. And
yeah, see, that ball is coming. I mean, it's right there. So he's just trying to catch the baseball, which he did not.
So the Mariners never thought about any kind of a challenge there. Here's the 1-0. Austin Pedroia down to get it. And will throw on to first base to retire the side. So Sale pitching out of a little bit of a difficult situation there, and he has a 1-0 lead. Kids can attend a game for free at Fenway Park when they sign up for Kid Nation. Free kids tickets are available for the first 25,000 tickets redeemed. Visit RedSox.com/KidNation to sign up today. Red Sox with a 1-0 lead on to the third. And here's Rafael Devers, third baseman, fresh off his major league debut last night.
This is a great opportunity right here for him. Seeing a young pitcher, day game. He's throwing strikes. I have a feeling we're gonna see some good fireworks right here.
Devers last night 0 for 4, walked twice. And he did score his first major league run.
He's not happy that he just saw his first fastball off this kid and was a little bit late. And they got a little shift going on right here against him.
Fly ball center field. Heredia racing back. This is deep. Back he goes. It is gone. Devers with his first major league hit, and he hits a bomb. And the Red Sox lead it 2-0.
Now that is the way to get your first major league hit done right there.
Now they have to go find it, and that's not going to be easy.
No, because people don't seem to give those up very well. He made a great adjustment on back-to-back fastballs, fouled one off, decided if I see it again, I'm going to get it started just a hair early. And man, he crushed that ball. Look at him holding his hands. Nobody's going to want to give him a high five. Yeah, watch this. He's just off. And he makes a great adjustment, and man, great extension. Wow.
What a moment for a 20-year-old Rafael Devers. His first major league hit, and he leaves the ballpark. And he hit it. Rockhold for 1. He is lined out to right.
They might have trouble getting that one back, but I sure hope they do. It's a great balanced swing. He's got a beautiful swing. He really does. It's no wonder they've called him up to get him here.
Well, giving the Red Sox what they sorely need, power from third base. And a blast for the kid.
And I know I said earlier to you, I haven't seen a whole lot, just Hanley, and man, let's keep this going.
See who gobbles that up. He'll retire Brock Holt. For every Red Sox home run, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. And now through the end of July, you can use your Speedy Rewards card when you purchase any size fountain or frozen drink for 69 cents and get an entry code to win a VIP experience.
They're giving the first hit to the baby. He's going to let him chew on it.
I think that's appropriate. With the 20-year-old blasting one out of the ballpark.
Absolutely.
The baby in his own right, but some swing.
In this league, yes, he is a baby.
Andrew Benintendi made his major league debut here last year. Struck out first time today. Red Sox ahead 2-0. So the usher is going to go to work here with the baseball. And I'm sure there'll be some sort of trade involved in this one. In getting that baseball back to Rafael, but also in exchange for something.
I'm sure we can, get a signed baseball or a bat out there. He's not going to mind doing that at all.
Of course, it may not be Rafael's that they want. It might be Mookie Betts or somebody that they want, and that's going to have to come into play.
Well, that's true too. But most teammates, they're gonna say, man, whatever you got to get that ball, I'll help you out.
Fouled away. So the home run ball relay race continues.
Yeah, he's not in a hurry to get it back to the Red Sox. Dana's going to go, what do you got there? What is that?
Vanjie.
Oh, really? Was that the ball? Are you sure?
Not seeing any kind of trade happening here.
Fister's like, dude, thanks.
And it's stuck in his back pocket. He'll make sure it gets there.
I wonder where the negotiation's going to come into. That baby's probably telling mom, hey, get my agent on the phone so we can negotiate this out.
2-2. A little topper foul. Pedroia on deck. Sox up by 2. You know, it's got to be the greatest feeling in the world when a young hitter gets his first big league hit. But when you make it a home run,
man, and you know, it's not the easiest ballpark to hit one out of.
And he crushed it.
Yes, he did. I think Hembry and those guys down in the bullpen are checking to see if there's a flat spot on the side of that. He smoked that ball.
So here's the negotiation. I've got to believe this is where it is taking place, in the bullpen. Well, and the security officer, he was sent with the message, something in return, and not like a cup full of grasshoppers or something. It's got to be something, you know.
Well, I know a guy who can probably get a good milkshake.
You know a guy.
I know a guy
who knows a guy. 3-2, and that one ripped and caught. Segura with a leaping play to deny Benintendi, and there are 2 down.
That's just a well played shift. You know, he hit that ball well in a perfect spot. Normally that's a base hit. Shortstop doesn't have a chance, but he's just playing the shift over a little bit, standing in the right spot.
Two away, Dustin Pedroia. Hanley Ramirez has come to the on deck area. Hanley still hobbled a bit after the collision at home plate.
Was he limping? I didn't see him walk out to
a little bit.
A little bit there. Looked like he got a pretty good Charlie horse sliding into that shin guard.
And a breaking ball, a strike. Pedroia has grounded a short. Red Sox scoring a run in the second inning on a sac fly by Moreland to bring in Hanley Ramirez, who had walked. Eventually he touched home plate, sliding in on the collision. That collision rule initially designed to protect the catcher and keep a runner from deviating on a path to home plate to seek out physical contact.
Right.
If he does that, he's out. He's declared out. The other part of the rule is, unless the catcher's in possession of the ball, he cannot block the plate. If he does, if he blocks the pathway without possession of the ball, the umpire rules the runner safe at home plate. So there are many different facets of that rule. Line shot, and that's going to drop down for a base hit.
I do understand the rule and the purpose of it, but when it happens in a ball game, sometimes things happen so fast. It's really, you can't get so many. You can't get tied up and, wow, where was his position, or did he have the ball, or how did I see that? I mean, if they have to go all the way back to the replay, then that's when you do it. But obviously, you're trying to make the right call at the right time and see it in live action. It's hard to do.
And I think it is very difficult for the umpires to
Absolutely.
determine. But that was, I think, a perfect situation where neither side had a beef on it.
No. Absolutely not. And
I mean, no one's looking to challenge that.
Before the rule came out, it's not many times that you had a beef. I mean, if it had to be blatantly obvious, if the guy steps out of line and tries to initiate contact, or the catcher's dropping a knee without the ball. I mean, usually, and then, you know, the teams would police that themselves.
We've had situations under this new rule in the last couple of years where both sides thought there was an issue on one play.
Oh my!
Like they were wronged on it. 1-0 and hammered a deep short, and Segura goes into second to retire the side. What a moment for Rafael Devers, his first major league hit, and he got it all. A home run here at Safeco Field with the Red Sox in front 2-0. Bottom of the third inning, Chris Sale with a little bit of wiggle room, and typically he does not need very much. Red Sox are up 2-0. Espinosa gets the nod at second base today as Cano has stepped out of the lineup for an afternoon. Leading things off and looking at a strike. It's 1-1. Segura on deck, and then Ben Gamble. Rafael Devers just had his first major league hit, and it was a home run to about the deepest part of this ballpark.
And he went ahead and went a little bit even farther than that.
He did. 2-1. That one disappeared on the changeup. 427 feet for his first one.
Not a bad start. If you're going to start a good career, man, why not start it with a bang?
Boy. Eventually the baseball finding its way back as that one's pop foul back out of play. And Rafael said when he got word from the Red Sox that they were bringing him up to the big league club, called his folks, and his dad said, well, we want to get on a plane and come right out to Seattle. We want to see you make your debut in person. He said, no, don't do that. Hold the phone for just a minute. You can join me in Boston when we come back. I'll see you there at Fenway Park.
Well, his parents have to be just beside themselves right now.
What do you think they did when he took that swing and it left the ballpark? What do you think they were doing?
Oh, they were jumping around the living room or the den or wherever they were watching this game, and they're high-fiving and hugging and just could not believe it.
When you see your kid, your guy, your little boy, and you always think of them as, and you know this is true because you're a dad, always think of them as a little boy. When you think of them that way, and then they step up in a major league stadium and hit one almost 430 feet for their first major league hit. God, what a thrill and a half.
Oh my goodness, pandemonium in the house. And it makes you wonder, you know, not just them, they probably had aunts and uncles and, you know, cousins and everybody else sitting there watching that too. I know my mom did.
The 2-2 to Espinosa. In there, strike three.
Well, that right there is that comparison slider to Mr. Randy Johnson. That you just don't hit that. I mean, he just completely locked him up right here.
Well, every time a Red Sox pitcher strikes out a Mariner batter, Lexus will donate $50 to the Greater Boston Food Bank.
Do they have a Chris Sale wing? Because he's racking them up, brother.
He has 2 today and 202 for the season. Here's Segura. He lines that one down into the corner. That's going to keep on rolling to the track and up against the wall, and he's going to have 2 bases. Segura, who had the game-winning hit just after midnight here earlier this morning in the 13th inning, is 1 for 2 today.
I'm impressed with him. He's a good solid hitter. I mean, fairly quick. They've tried to bust him up and in quite a few times, and he almost breaks his ankle right here.
He's got some Jose Altuve in him.
Yeah. Well, this is a kid's game. Go out and play it. Have some fun. That's what you're supposed to do.
Ben Gamble, another kid. He's a rookie. Segura is certainly a veteran, but Gamble, good-looking young hitter. Started the afternoon hitting .321 and has since flagged to right. 2-0 Red Sox here in the third. Trying to grab a win in this series.
That's just absolute paint right there.
Sales 0-2. Swatted at. He came up empty. That's strike 3.
Yeah, that was just an emergency hack, just trying to fall something off so he's not too embarrassed. But he's going to walk back to the dugout. Kind of just flailing right here. I mean, he's just trying to catch a piece.
Second strikeout in the inning for Sale. Here comes Nelson Cruz. He's in an 0 for 10. The Red Sox have done good work on him. He was 0 for 6 last night with 5 strikeouts.
Well, we'll see if they continue hitting that down and away spot on him. He's been really weak in that area.
And at second, and strike one. He starts him off with 79-mile-an-hour slider. He's been hitting 95, 96 with the fastball.
That's unfair. You know, changing speeds like that and still having great location. That's unfair to a lot of guys.
0-2.
But as you can see, they're still trying to pound that down and away breaking ball type pitch to Cruz. And he's, you know, not doing too well with it.
Sale attempting to strike out 3 men here in the third. Valencia on deck. Typically the way it's gone for Sale is he piles up strikeouts early. And then when hitters are getting their second and third at bats against him, they don't want to fall behind. They don't want to go down 0-2 because then it's lights out. So they start swinging, making contact, making fast outs, but making contact later in the game. This has sort of been the reverse as he strikes out 3 men here in the third. And he has 4 so far this afternoon. 2-0 Boston. Well, for your next Red Sox game at Fenway, you can scan your electronic ticket on MLB.com ballpark app and receive a free cell phone wallet. Download the ballpark app today and take advantage of this special offer before July 31st. Mike Timlin, Dave O'Brien, and Jemai Webster on a glorious sunny day here in Seattle. Red Sox ahead 2-0. Chris Sale has been Chris Sale, which is to say brilliant again, and Rafael Devers has hit his first major league home run, his first big league hit with that same swing.
Well, they're playing a little bit of a serious shift here. I mean, it's been on almost every one of our left-handed hitters. They're piling up on the right-hand side here. And I really don't see what they see. I mean, we hit the ball to the left field side a lot.
Jackie with a double first time up. In the inning where the Red Sox got the first run on the sac fly by Moreland, and then Devers with the long home run in the third. Of course, it remains to be seen what the Red Sox hierarchy wants to do with Devers now that Nunez has been acquired from the Giants and will be with the Sox on Friday against Kansas City.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult call for them. I mean, kid's going to come up here, have a little success, and I mean, I know Nunez is an accomplished major league player, and Devers is just on the fringe, so it's going to be a tough decision if you want to keep the kid up here, let him learn from Nunez, make another move somewhere else. I'm not sure what they're going to do.
Since June, Nunez has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, he puts the ball in play. I mean, he's not a power hitter by any means, but he's a great offensive player.
Looks like Devers is a power hitter. It's the real deal.
It's the two power guys right now. He's giving. How about you give me one of those long things? Yeah.
3-2 now to Jackie Bradley. And he rips that one down the line.
He beat the shift. I like it.
Headed to the corner. He's looking for his second double. And the exact same thing happened with Jackie as he rounded first base. Off came the helmet on the two-base hit.
Well, I don't run that fast. I think I can run that fast, but I've never run out of a helmet. He has the ability to do so.
Yours will stay on, but he's running out from under it.
Right.
So 2 for 2 with 2 doubles.
Sure good to see him swinging really well. He seems real comfortable against Moore. He's put some good swings on some of the pitches. He's fouled some pitches off that are on the outside corner and then beat the shift.
Leadoff double brings up Moreland, who has an RBI today on the sac fly in the second inning.
And he had the shift on Moreland also, but he's not going to leave third base too unoccupied since we stole third base on him last night.
Sox with 4 hits. Seattle with 1 so far against Mr. Sale. And the 1-0. Popped him up. Down the line. Racing back Seager. And he's going to make a nice play in fair territory back into second, not in time. As Bradley is safe. Seager making that play over the shoulder in the sunshine.
That was a pretty good catch right there, and having the presence of mind to just kind of turn around and flip it and try to catch Jackie off second base. Yeah, this is going to be a tough catch right there over the shoulder, especially in the sunshine. I mean, once again, there's one small cloud up there. Just the one, and then he's not doing a whole lot of covering.
We have not seen many on this trip between Anaheim and here. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 1. He is flying to right. Trying to lock in again. Here's the battle by Seager. Pretty smoothly done.
I'm still, fascinated how well infielders can run and catch things over their shoulder and moving in different directions, and they make these great, fantastic circus catches.
Popped up straight away, backing out Espinosa. Heredia calls everybody off. Xander is 0 for 2. Sandy Leon will be next. Sox heading back home to take on Kansas City. And right away we'll be facing a guy whose name is in the hunt for the Cy Young, the left-hander Jason Vargas.
Oh boy.
He's 12-4, ERA of 3.08. David Price will counter. And Rick Porcello will go on Saturday. Eduardo Rodriguez on Sunday afternoon. That's
going to be a good pitch ball game. I really believe that.
Leon 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Sox will be home for a while. 3 with Kansas City, 3 with Cleveland, and 4 against the Chicago White Sox.
I know the boys will be happy to be home for a while. And as the schedule plays out, I think they have more home games after the All-Star break, which is
right.
Plays heavily in our favor.
Quite a few, actually. And starting off with Kansas City, though, a couple of weeks ago, it looked like the Royals might be considering being a seller at the deadline. That's not true anymore. They have won 7 in a row. They're going to come into Fenway, one of the hottest teams in baseball, if not the hottest, and they are only a game and a half out of first place. And then Terry Francona's Indians come in next. They're the team in first.
Yeah, it did seem that KC was going to be the seller for a while, and they started making a few moves in the standings and winning a few ball games, and then they've improved the club, and I think they're going to go for it again.
Two down, JBJ at second base. Red Sox up 2-0. You realize the Dodgers already have 70 wins? Not even out of July yet. They're 70-31.
They're red hot.
High fly ball right field. Racing back Haniger. All the way to the wall, leaping, and she's gone. Sandy Leon with a 2-run shot, and the Red Sox open up a 4-0 lead.
Just a great swing on sitting back on this curveball. He's fouled a couple of balls off the outside corner, and then he just kind of sits back, lets this curveball come to him, and he crushes that ball.
Sandy with number 6 as he pulls it to right.
This ball just kind of floats there, and he puts a really good swing on it. Boom.
Red Sox with his second home run today against Andrew Moore. The man at the bat right now has the first one, Rafael Devers. Big swing for the Red Sox catcher, Sandy Leon. There's another drive to right, but that's well hit. Haniger back. He'll make the catch shy of the track. A couple of great swings by Devers today.
Well, he's starting to get really comfortable.
Sox up 4-0 in the 4th. Presented by Plain Ridge Park Casino. TC Tim Wakefield and Lenny DiNardo will recap the road trip and preview the Kansas City Royals series that we've been talking about.
I'm glad Lenny's there. He's doing a great job.
Looking very natty in the studio.
Yes, he is.
Now Valencia will lead things off against Chris Sale, who really started to get it rolling last inning with 3 strikeouts. And he has 4 so far today.
Looking good, working fast.
Pedroia to his left, a little bit of a bobble, and still collected it to fire on to first base for the out. Let's go to Jemai.
Well, Dave, with Chris Sale on the bump, we know what we're going to get. Talk with pitching coach Carl Willis, who told me his consistency has been great and really allowed our bullpen to do what they've been able to do, and says when our starting pitchers can do quality starts and go extended periods of time, they give us a chance to win each and every time out. And with a 4-run lead, this is the type of effort that Chris Sale has been dominant in.
He certainly has 4 Ks in the book. He has walked 1 today. Going to be a pitching coach's dream.
Well, as consistent as he has been all his career, and he comes here and he's doing what he's doing, it's just an awesome compliment. And if you can give the guys in the bullpen who are throwing the ball extremely well as a group, maybe a little extra day or a little couple of innings off here and there, kind of spread some work out, they're going to continue to be strong for you all year long.
Seager's 0 for 1. He's popped up to the catcher. Sale recording his 200th strikeout in his last outing against the Angels. He reached 200 Ks in 141 and a third innings. And down goes another one. You talk about flailing away.
Just check. That looked like a rusty gate right there. Kind of swinging, just swinging in the wind. I'm not sure what. He didn't even step. He just like threw his hands.
Well, that was already in the catcher's mitt.
Yeah, that's right by you.
Seager is a good hitter.
Yes.
Heredia hit by a pitch in the second inning.
Be light on his feet.
Sox ahead 4-0 here in the fourth. Chris Sale joining Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez as the only pitchers in Major League history with 200 or more strikeouts in their first 20 starts of a season.
Yeah, and you look at Randy Johnson. They've done the 200 thing, 200 strikeout. He's got how many years next to him? He's done that. 4, 3.
Well, this particular record that we're talking about was 200 strikeouts in 20 starts of this season.
Right, but I mean, if you're looking at, he's got what years next to his name there? 99, 2000, and 2001. That's that's pretty good.
Nolan Ryan did it in 1977 and popped up foul out of play. But you're talking about a Mount Rushmore of pitchers.
Oh, like collection, those 4. Oh my goodness. What would it have been like had you had a staff of those 4?
It would be illegal. Be against the law.
It would be against the law. But man, it would be fun, wouldn't it? It'd be boring in the bullpen. Just sit there and watch these guys deal every day.
Yes, would you even need a bullpen?
Yeah, probably not.
Maybe a closer.
Sure. For the occasional, I'm tired in the 7th. Somebody else take the 9th, and we'll be good.
2 hammered for base hit. Toward the alley. He's going to keep on moving. Bradley's throw will not get him. A hustle double for Heredia, so he's in scoring position with 2 down.
Yeah, once he got out of the box, he literally did not stop. He had second base on his brain the whole time. If I got a shot to go get it, he's going to go get it. I mean, he does not slow down, doesn't hesitate. He's heads down. Great turn there, and just kept going. That's good hustle.
Guillermo Heredia to second base. Here's Haniger. He took ball 4 in the second. The only man to walk so far today against Chris Sale.
Even as sharply as he hit that ball, it didn't roll in the outfield very far.
Haniger 257 with 7 home runs. Sox with a run in the second, a run in the third, and 2 in the fourth. If you're just joining us, Rafael Devers, the talented third baseman, 20 years old, made his major league debut last night. He has his first major league hit here today, and it was a 427-foot home run
off Mr. Moore. You know, I was texting with a young man that went to school with my son out here at George Fox University, and he went to high school with Andrew Moore. It was pretty impressive.
Popped up first base, and Moreland right near the bag will make the catch in foul ground. One man left. 4-0 the Red Sox. #1 mobile app for live Red Sox baseball. Stay connected. Get Red Sox home screen icons, app features, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. 5th inning, and the Red Sox with a 4-0 lead with Chris Sale on the mound. He has allowed only 2 Seattle hits. Brock Holt 0 for 2. He's lined to right and grounded to third.
It's a good pitch combination right there. A high fastball and then following up with a nice curveball.
Red Sox for the first time this year have lost 4 in a row, trying to end that today as that one is hammered foul. Stay tuned after the 3rd out of this half inning for the mid-5th studio show with TC, Tim, and Lenny. Last night the Red Sox played another extra inning game, the 3rd game of 13 innings or more in the last 11 days.
That's a lot of time.
Oh my
goodness.
Don't we know it?
Yeah, but you know, we're just kind of sitting here and watching. They're out there running around, sweating, breathing hard.
Well, you make a great point. That is high for a ball, and I think it does wear on a ball club.
It does. It really does.
To play so many long games in a short period of time does a job on your pitching staff.
It will devastate your pitching staff in a hurry.
Base hit the other way. Brock Holt serving it into left field, and a good start for the Red Sox here in the 5th.
I know we ran into it a few times having some extra inning ball games, and you know, guys in the bullpen, you know, I never knew one of them to say, look, I need a day off, and it's admirable. And I'm sure these guys don't do that either. They want to be everyday guys. They want to be out there every day and help these guys out.
Red Sox pitchers have thrown 130 2/3 innings since the All-Star break. That's 16 more than any other club in baseball.
And yet they still have great ERA.
Red Sox with the lowest ERA in the American League.
That's just a test to a lot of good guys making great pitches and a good pitching coach.
Benintendi has struck out and lined to short. Red Sox need to win today to maintain a 1-game lead over the Yankees heading back to Boston on Friday. And 2.5 over Tampa Bay because both the Rays and the Yankees were winners today in their games. Here's the 0-1. High fly. Shallow center. Heredia there to make that catch. Benintendi 0 for 3 tonight. After Red Sox coverage of NESN Sports Today, Andy Brickley will update us on the Bruins offseason. Also have the latest on Pat's camp from Gillette. NESN Sports Today presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Talking Pat's camp.
It's sports just seem to run together sometimes. When you're not paying attention, the next thing you know, it's the draft happens, and then mini camps, and next you turn around, it's September. Here we go.
Yep.
Time to go.
Pedroia with a base hit and a ground out. 1 for 2 on the day. Sox ahead 4-0. Sox with a pair of home runs. Sandy Leon has one along with Rafael Devers.
And I do like the fact that we've run this kid's pitch count all the way to 85 already.
He came in with an ERA almost 6, 5.70.
Well, as young as he is, he's still just a thrower, in my opinion. He's not really, he's trying to catch the concept of how to set guys up and pitch guys, but sometimes that just doesn't, fall into your brain too quickly.
23 years old. And a little dribbler toward third, but a foul ball. Back to the Devers home run if you missed it in the 3rd inning.
This is just a beautiful thing right here. That's just good extension. That kid's got to be so excited today. He wants to smile coming all the way across. I'm not sure if he thinks he needs to or if he can.
Is it allowed?
Should I do this or should I not do this?
But when he touched home plate.
Oh, he was all smiles. And on the bench, absolutely. Well deserved.
He became the first Red Sox player to hit a home run in his debut since Daniel Nava in 2010. Remember, he hit a grand slam.
That's right.
First pitch he ever saw in the majors.
Man, that's like I said, if you're going to get it started with a bang.
A good count for Pedroia. 3-1 for Moore. Hard hit. Espinosa got one there, and they'll turn 2. 4-6-3. That's all for the Red Sox. We're at the midway point. Boston ahead 4-0. Time now to turn it over to TC, Tim, and Lenny for the mid-5th studio show, guys. Certainly wish you guys were here with us on this beautiful day here in Seattle, and indeed things a lot more promising than they were about 14, 15 hours ago. And the Red Sox fell here in 13 innings.
I'm not sure if a call from the green room counts in a big league game. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I gotta kind of question Wake right there.
There's a lot of things you can say in the green room that you know later you can say, well, I said this, right?
Right.
It's got to be on tape, or it's got to be a lot of people witnessing it. I'm with you on that one. Well, Wake's a very honest man, though. So if it were anybody else, I'd say, no, that's a story. It was Tim Wakefield, so I believe it.
Well, I sat next to the guy a few days here and there.
Yeah, you did.
In the locker room, and yeah, he's pretty honest.
2-1 to Ruiz.
But I have to say, I did say some fireworks that could happen right here.
You did. And in fact, both of us said that would be his first major league hit. We didn't say home run.
Right.
But we both predicted it would be that at bat.
Technically, it was just a hit. I mean, literally.
But again, we could be lying too. Sure. In there for strike 3. And so Ruiz will take a seat as Sale rings up another K. That'll be number 6.
Yeah, he just locks him up right here. My goodness. That is just an unbelievable slider. I'm not sure why they give up on it. I mean, his arm angle, it's probably, when it starts, probably 2.5 feet to the outside corner, and it just continues to eat you up, and they just don't put a swing on it.
You got this man Espinosa looking on a 3rd strike in the 3rd inning
with a nasty lockup pitch.
One down in the 1-0, and tagged into right center field, giving it a good run is Brock Holt. 2 down. So he's looking for his second 1-2-3 inning here today. We're in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Win today, and Chris Sale goes to 13-4. Continues to drop the ERA, which was already number 1 in the American League at 2.48. That's been going down. Segura going after the first one. He has doubled, and he's also struck out.
Well, I really like how Chris works. He works fast. Like Lenny said, he just gets back on the mound, gets back on the rubber, throwing the next pitch. Doesn't shake a lot.
Doesn't shake at all. In fact,
his confidence rides high. He's quiet. You see him in the locker room. You see him around the dugout. He doesn't say a whole lot. He just goes about his work. It's a great example for a lot of young pitchers on this club and around the league. If you're watching, this is how you do it. This is what you need to do day in and day out.
Two in, 2 on Segura. Sale eyeing what would be his 7th strikeout today if he can get it.
This kid's got a pretty good quick swing, so he tries to see the ball as deep as he possibly can and then put a pretty good hack on it.
Nobody on and 2 down. 2-2. He struck him out looking 96 miles an hour to put away Segura. 7 Ks in the book for the lefty. Brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. The Red Sox have gotten to him for 6 hits and 4 earned and a pair of home runs. Leon and Devers. And Ramirez swinging at the first pitch and pops it to center. Espinosa out. Heredia wants it. And on one pitch, Hanley is retired. He has scored a run today after walking in the 2nd inning. Sliding into the catcher at home plate on an outstanding throw from Gamble, but Hanley beat it and put the Red Sox in the lead. They added another on a home run by Rafael Devers in the 3rd inning, and then a couple in the 4th inning and a 2-run shot by Sandy Leon, and that's been the scoring. Chris Sale is taking care of the rest.
Hanley put a pretty good swing on that. I mean, he just missed that ball. It was the same swing he had the other day. That ball just went straight up instead of straight out.
Well, 2 of the best swings today have been from Jackie Bradley, a pair of doubles.
Absolutely, and he hasn't let him get too deep in the count either time. Good changeup right there. Jackie's definitely hunting the fastball, so he can get something to drive here.
1-2.
Kid got away from missing a spot right there. He was trying to go up and in. Reese was sitting up there, and he kind of let that out over the plate. Got away with one.
And a swing and a miss. He will strike out. 2 fast outs for the Sox here in the 6th. Right in front of Mitch Moreland. Mitch drove in a run with a sac fly in the 2nd inning. It's also popped up to 3rd, so 0 for 1.
Well, over the week that I've seen him now, he seems the foot seems a little bit better. His swing seems to get a little more consistent. He's starting to hit the ball a little harder.
Well, he's had some really hot stretches this season. Not necessarily on one right now. 2 for his last 15.
No, I'll agree with you right there, but it does seem.
And he pops this one up.
He's moving in the right direction with a swing.
And Segura will catch that to retire the side. Red Sox go quietly in the inning. 1-2-3 here in Seattle. Perks. You can earn a free beverage when you enroll and speed past the line with on-the-go ordering. DD Perks. Everyone deserves an upgrade. Speeding past the line may not be possible at all locations. Red Sox 4 and Seattle nothing. Off to the last half of the 6th inning. Chris Sale again has been superb. He has struck out 7, walked only 1, allowed only 2 hits. And he has a shutout brewing here. He'll get Gamble, Cruz, and Valencia in the 6th.
Not overextended in the pitches, on the pitch count. 76 pitches. He's looking good, looking comfortable.
And 1-1. Tried to dart it inside, but he missed, according to home plate umpire Nart. And 2-1. That'll trim the corner. 94 right on the black.
That's a Picasso right there. That is a Picasso for sale.
Gamble hanging in there. I just don't know how a left-handed batter can be expected after seeing 95, 96 to make contact with that slider.
I'm not sure. I mean, you have to really be confident in what you're doing day in and day out to even hang in there on that slider. And then you get a four-seamer on your hands trying to, you know, that left thumb's got to really be ringing right now.
Gamble is a very hot hitter. He's hit safely in 12 in a row. Sale trying to make him 0 for 3 today.
He's pretty good fight.
And you can see why Seattle's so high on him.
Yeah, he's dropping his hands, trying to get his hands inside the ball, maybe even just to possibly flick it out to left field.
And a 2-2. Roll foul again. It's rare to see a lengthy at bat against Chris Sale.
It's true.
Lengthy is usually about 5 pitches.
Yeah, he's got some extension on this one, fouling a few more off here and there.
Nelson Cruz on deck. And a 2-2. He's filled up the count.
Well, he's being very selective and patient. But like you said earlier, I mean, guys tend to start swinging a little bit sooner in the count for him.
Here's pitch number 10 in this event. Toward right center. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Well, he earned that one.
Yeah, he did. And he did exactly what he tried to do earlier in the at-bat. Dropped his hands inside the pitch right here. It's a fastball inside, and he just kind of flips it out there. Doesn't power it. And he uses all the power that Chris Sale gets from the ball and just gets enough of it out there.
That's a 13-game hitting streak for Ben Gamble.
That's an impressive AB right there. Off a nasty pitcher.
I think you're right. That's a name that folks are going to want to remember.
Yeah, you can look forward to this guy being really good later on in his career.
So Gamble on, Cruz the hitter. He's popped up and struck out. And he deals a strike on the changeup.
2 pitches in the exact same spot. I mean, and they've been dealing him away most of the time. Down and away, down and away, down and away. And he decided to change it up and go inside.
1-2. Back to the slider.
Yeah, that's just a nasty pitch.
Tossed over to first base, and Gamble dives back in. He does have pretty good speed. 4-0 Red Sox in the 6th. They have out-hit Seattle 6-3. Neither side has made an error. And everyone's working on their tan today in the stands. Here's the 1-2. Over foul.
Well, I like how he's kind of shifting his pitches here, giving Cruz a little bit different look. I assumed the first two pitches were, because he called the second one a strike. I didn't even look up to see if he called it a strike or not. He was in the exact same spot, so I assumed it was 0-2, and then on the slider that he swung and missed, changed it to 1-2. So I missed a pitch.
Working on your milkshake.
No, that one's gone.
Oh, it's gone. 1-2. Foul back. It didn't take long. I pretty much devoured that puppy.
Well, it's the 6th inning. I had time to work on it.
92 pitches from the lefty.
I was a 4th child. You didn't slow down when you started eating.
Well, I hear you. 2 got him. Struck him out on the high end of the strike zone, but it was definitely a strike, even though Cruz doesn't think so. Time of the carrying the freight moment, brought to you by Old Dominion.
Well, he didn't really enjoy that last pitch. Not too many people do. He's been kind of dominating, like I said, early in on the inside corner, and he's just embarrassing guys. Some of these swings that you're going to see, that just a flail right there, lock up. It's been constant all day, and then you have this. He does not agree with that because the height of the pitch. But if you look at, it went through the top of the zone, and they're starting to call that way more throughout the league.
Old Dominion, the official freight carrier of Major League Baseball and the Boston Red Sox. So 8 strikeouts for Chris today. Valencia has not been one of them. He's lined to right and grounded to second.
Yeah, this goes right through the top of the zone. He's looking away. That's why he's kind of locked up right there. You can see him shift to go get that pitch, and that locked him up. He just doesn't agree with it.
Caught plenty of the plate.
Absolutely.
And he was well out in front on that changeup. You throw 97, 98, but you're willing to throw a 2-0 changeup to the cleanup hitter.
And the reason for that, it's a 2-0, it's a hitter's count. You make something, you're throwing something that you think they think you're throwing a fastball, and they're going to try to put a really good swing on it. And most of the time, you'll either get a weak ground ball or a pop up.
That's why Valencia started swinging on Monday. Came up empty on that one.
On Wednesday.
2-2.
If he keeps swinging like that, he's going to join everybody else with a little K beside his name.
It would be Sale's 9th if it happens right here. And it does. Back to the slider.
Perfect pitch. This is an absolute perfect location. He just totally gives up on it. Doesn't think that's not going to be a strike. And now the Mariner hitters are starting to think you're giving him way too much off the plate.
Well, that was right on the corner, though.
Absolutely.
Sales pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. I mean, from the overhead view, you could see it was right on the edge of the plate.
Well, from the body language, Valencia was looking inside because he's been dominating the inside corner on right-handers with a hard fastball.
That one may be off the corner of the plate there to Seager, who has struck out and popped up. Sale with 9 strikeouts, so bidding to get into double figures again right here against Seager.
And most of the time, the umpires will give you something a little bit more if you're throwing strikes and the game's moving along and you're proving that you can throw the ball where you want to throw the ball. They give you a little leeway just off the plate.
Well, 13 times in 20 starts, Chris Sale has struck out at least 10 men. Trying to do it again here today in Seattle. He has a 4-0 lead. Runner goes, and it's popped up. Pedroia, plenty of time to get there, and that will retire the side. Sale continues to mow them down and shut out Seattle through 6. Medical Center, the first aid station at Fenway. Beth Israel Deaconess. Visit bidmc.org. Underway in the 7th inning. Xander Bogaerts 0 for 2 today. Red Sox ahead 4-0. Sanders flied to right, and he's flied to center. He'll be followed by Sandy Leon, who has homered, and Rafael Devers, who has homered quite memorably for his first major league hit.
El numero uno.
Xander's such a key guy in this offense. Lately hitting lower in the order, down to number 7. Trying to fight his way out of a slump these days. It has taken him to 285. Lined and caught. How about that play by Moore? Right at him. Well, I think the ball caught him.
That's exactly what I was fixing to say. That ball just caught him in the glove. I mean, he stung this ball really, really well. Xander's probably like, dude, just get the heck out of the way.
Let's go down to Jemai.
Well, Dave, as Xander Bogaerts continues to try and search for his first hit in this series, he was a late scratch in game 1 with the sinus and flu-like symptoms, still fighting his way back from that hand injury. And Red Sox manager John Farrell says he has to work his way through this, and he's been chasing a lot of balls, particularly breaking pitches, saying that we need every guy to fight their way back in this lineup, and that they got to stay together collectively to get back on track. It's not just going to be one bat.
Yeah, and I think that realization that the Red Sox are kind of offense. It's not going to hit a lot of home runs. Now today they've hit 2,
right? But
have to string hits together, and you need a lot of guys going at the same time to score plenty of runs.
Well, the way this team is built, absolutely, you've got to have a lot of guys on base and then just put the ball in play.
Rolled softly to the second baseman. 1 man, 2 men out here in the 7th inning.
And I really like the thought and the theory behind, you know, John just leaves him in there. He's got to fight his way back in through adversity, in through a slump. You're going to continue to play every day. He says, I'm trusting you. Go play. Keep swinging. We got your back.
He's an exceptional hitter. He's just going through a rough period.
Well, there's not a guy that's ever been on the field that's not have a bad time. And you have to find a way through it. If you can't find a way through it and someone's always picking you up, you know, you never learn.
Moore will exit as the Red Sox knock the starter out here in the 7th inning. Sox on top 4-0. They're going to bring Zepchinski in. Red Sox up 4-0, and we'll continue with more in Seattle in just a moment. Red Sox baseball in Nesson is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Rafael Devers has homered and at a hard line drive to deep right field. So a couple of great swings today. The home run in the third inning, his first major league hit. And he spanked it.
Yes, he did. He got great extension on that.
Facing Mark Zebchinski.
It's a pretty tough pitcher they brought in to kind of cool the kid off.
Tough veteran. He did not allow a run his first 16 games of the season through the middle of May.
That's pretty impressive.
Been a little more hittable lately.
Oh, this league will, I mean, it makes adjustments. Even though you're having a great year, and like Chris Sale's having a great year, I mean, guys still make adjustments, and he's, he gives up a few hits, and he misses a few pitches here and there, but he's just absolutely dominant.
Here's the 2-2 to the rookie. That's a glancing blow and off into left center field for a base hit off the pitcher. So Devers with his third nice swing today, and he's got his second hit.
Well, that's got to hurt a little bit. Pride on Zebchinski. I mean, he stays back on this and does exactly what you need to do. Left on left, hit the ball back up the middle. Unfortunately, Xander did the exact same thing, and Moore got in the way.
And watching Devers just get that little whip action, that sort of buggy whip action.
That's a good call.
Interesting to watch that cut. So he's 2 for 3. Brock Holt is 1 for 3 with a base hit. To the right side, and Espinosa will fire on to retire at the side. Red Sox get a hit, and that'll do it. We're in the middle of the 7th inning on a sale day. 4-0 Boston. Toyota's website for deals. BuyAToyota.com. Franklin Sports, the official batting glove of Major League Baseball. Mazda, driving matters. Just for men, mustache and beard. Your best beard ever. And by Ford Trucks, built Ford Tough, the official truck of the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox ahead 4-0. Chris Sale has been dominant yet again here in Seattle. He has struck out 9. Only 3 hits against him. One of those by this man, Heredia. He doubled in the 4th, and he's also been hit by a pitch. And strike.
Chris Sale just, he's just still coming right at him. Still comfortable on the mound. Still bringing it. He's got great velocity.
On a bunt, Sale will scoop, turn, fire, got him. That's a really fine play by the 6'6" lefty.
Absolutely, very athletic going to get that ball.
Well, we've seen him swing the bat with that double in Philadelphia.
I did not see that.
He can swing it.
Oh yeah, he looks like an athlete. And the size and the foot speed that he's got, I bet he can play some basketball too.
Oh yeah. He comes from a very strong basketball school at Florida Gulf Coast. He brought Joe Kelly over in spring training, and Joe hit a length of the court one-hand shot, which went everywhere. Everybody saw it.
Wow.
Now it's Boyer up. Blaine Boyer just returning off the disabled list. This is a very nice sign for the Red Sox because he's pitched quite well.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. We were in the hallway. Asked him how he's feeling. He goes, "Man, I feel great. I feel like 100%." He looks good.
He's been a favorite of John Farrell's. Reinstated today after that right elbow strain put him on the DL. That happened during the Yankees series. 1-2. And strike three. Caught him looking. Editor down, admiring the pitch, and there's number 10 for Sale.
Double digits again.
Yep, wow. For the 14th time in 21 starts.
And still, just even this deep into the game, he's still locking guys up like they're not sure where that pitch is going to go.
What a remarkable season for the lefty. Here's Ruiz trying to attack the first one. He's gone over 2 with a strikeout. Red Sox up 4-0. And it has felt, the way this guy has been dealing yet again, like plenty of runs.
No question.
He's in 110 pitches. And the 0-2. He fouled it away.
Sometimes you kind of look at him and say, yeah, he's in cruise mode, but I don't think he ever goes there mentally.
No, does not appear to. He gives no quarter.
No. If you're not bringing your A game to the dish, don't come.
Red Sox looking to grab a win in the series and snap a 4-game losing skid. And they've had the right man on the hill here this afternoon. The 1-2. And just a little bit low.
That ball's moving so much. That's the only reason I think he did not call that for a strike. I mean, it's really dropping down through the zone.
Got a piece of it to hang in. Saturday, Andy Brickley takes the green with Bruins defenseman Torrey Krug at Blue Hill Country Club. Talks to Brick about not being drafted, his mentors on the Bruins, and a lot more. Catch an all-new On Course with Andy Brickley Saturday 5:30 before Red Sox pregame coverage. And swing and a miss for strike 3. Down he goes. Number 11 for Chris Sale. And another tremendous performance. 4-0 Boston. guests with conferences, meetings, summer outings, and holiday parties at Fenway. Visit redsox.com/events or call 617-226-6791 for more information. And the amazing season of one Chris Sale continues. Every time you turn around, he's setting a new record in Red Sox history or baseball history.
It is really amazing. And 9 road starts with 10+ strikeouts. The most with the history of this franchise.
Right.
The most.
He just passed Pedro in that category, and a base hit by Benintendi to begin the 8th inning.
Well, he's starting to become roommates with Pedro. All the stats he's putting up.
It's so unusual in sports to get to an expectation level a guy like Chris Sale has set, and yet he hits it or exceeds it every time out. It just doesn't happen.
As an athlete, you expect that. You expect yourself to do that. Do you do it consistently on a day in, day out basis? No, you don't.
But he does.
But he is doing it this year, and has done it before in small stretches.
Well, you're right. A pitching change here in Seattle as the Mariners will go to the bullpen with Dustin Pedroia on the way up. We'll take the break as well. Red Sox ahead 4-0, and Sale brilliant again today. Red Sox up 4-0 in the 8th inning with a base runner in Benintendi. Pedroia the batter, and to face a new pitcher, Emilio Pagan, who was recalled earlier this month from AAA for his 4th major league stint. Pedroia today 1 for 3 with a base hit. Sox have 8 hits, including 2 home runs, and Seattle managed only 3 against Chris Sale. Well, Chris was on the bump.
Well, I was lucky. I didn't have to do what Mr. Pagan does. Up and down, up and down. I was pretty blessed in that area.
Yeah, you stuck for 18 years.
As was this guy who's hitting right now. When he got here, he stayed here.
And won the Rookie of the Year and was off to the races. Later an MVP, 4 Gold Gloves.
Pretty good resume.
Not to mention the World Championship jewelry,
which he dons every once in a while.
The 2-0 lined up the middle for a base hit. His second today. Dustin Pedroia on again. So the Sox trying to add on to this lead of 4-0, and Hanley Ramirez will be next. Now you have 4 World Series rings in your career.
Correct.
4 championship rings. You're talking about, you know, guys who wear them on occasion, and I know a lot of ball players will wear them on special events and when you're out signing and stuff like that. Do you wear them, and how do you choose which ones to wear, because you've got rings from different clubs?
I do. I probably wear the Boston Red Sox World Series rings more than I do the Toronto World Series rings, just because they fit my hand a little bit better. The Toronto rings are, my hands were, I guess where my hands were smaller at the time, my knuckles were, and they just don't fit over my knuckles sometimes. But in comparison, I mean, a World Series ring is a World Series ring. No, it means the exact same thing, a World Championship. But you look at them sometimes, they just don't look the same. Sometimes the appeal is just not there.
Yeah. And they've been getting larger and more luxurious looking as the years have progressed.
Yes, they have.
In all sports. Really.
Absolutely. I mean, they're a little more elaborate all the time.
I was noticing your Red Sox ring as Hanley fouls that one back, the one you're wearing right now, which is, I believe, the 07 ring.
It is the 07 ring.
You've got 2 championship trophies on that.
Yes.
For the 2 you won as a member of the Red Sox.
That's correct. If you were on the 07 team and you were on the 04 team, you have 2 World Series trophies on the side. And then if you were just on there for the 07, you only have 1. I'm not sure how they designate that, or or how it's designed on the side, but that's the difference.
Very cool. It's a great little memento.
Absolutely.
To put it mildly.
Tight.
And Hanley goes down. And did it get him? He's looking at his hand there. See if he's okay. John Farrell out. And he's had kind of a rough day. He slid into home plate and scored earlier. There's a collision. Walked away from that. And he is indeed going to take his base here. He was struck by that pitch.
Wow, I'm not sure where it hit him.
He was looking at that hand. Take a look.
Yeah, it got him right off the top of the right knuckles on his top hand there. Oof. Man, you're talking about, that's serious chin music. That's old school chin music.
Ooh. He's taken his base, and Service, the manager's out to talk with Paul Nart, I think, about that, whether it hit him. Which is something they can review.
Start messing up anywhere around the shoulder area and above. I mean, that's where you're talking about your career, your life, your family, all that stuff.
You betcha. It sounded like it nicked him. I thought it did.
Yeah, I thought so too, but Ruiz came up with the ball.
So here's Jackie Bradley. Red Sox can really bust it open on top 4-0.
It's not like this young man throws soft either. That was a pretty good buzzsaw right there.
So Hanley taking his base. Benintendi down to third. Pedroia to second. Nobody out. Jackie's had a good day with a pair of doubles. And he always seems locked in against Seattle. He's had some of his best days against the Mariners in his career.
Well, like I said, for whatever reason, one guy picks one team. I don't know if it's arbitrary. You just sometimes you lock in against one team and it doesn't matter who's throwing. You're just going to rake them.
And Pagan in some trouble. Here comes the 2-0.
Yeah, he's in some serious trouble right now. He's surrounded. He's going to have to find his way out of this.
Jackie 313 lifetime with the bases loaded, including a grand slam.
Well, Jackie could help him out and open up a gate as he drives a couple in here.
He goes to 3-1. Moreland on deck.
Well, he's showing some good patience in this AB. I mean, earlier in the game, he wasn't going real deep in the count. just so he could, get a good swing on a good fastball. But he's really patient right here, knowing he's not throwing a ton of strikes.
Big crowd today in Seattle. Red Sox have taken that crowd out of it. 39,797. And a 3-1. They went for it there, full count.
Perfect hitter's count right here. He's just going to take a really good hack. He knows he's got to throw a strike. Pagan knows he has to throw a strike, and he took a rip at it, just missing it.
Benintendi, Pedroia, Ramirez filling the bases.
And they still have the little shift on.
And he struck him out. He came back to get him. That's the first out of the inning, one away. Moreland coming up.
Went with the only thing he knew is his fastball. But he's got real good control right now.
We'll stay right here after the third out of this inning for a special behind the scenes look at what happens in between innings. A lot of kids here today. It's a camper's day at Safeco Field.
Yeah, the upper deck is full of day campers. Various colors on their shirts in groups.
It's also Mike Timlin autograph day, another reason they're all here. And Mike will be signing after the game for several hours. Former Seattle Mariner in his own right. Here's Moreland now. He has gone 0 for 2 with a sacrifice to drive in a run. 347 with the bases loaded and 2 grand slams for Mitch.
If that were a reality, I'd probably have about 50 people in line.
No, you know that's not true. They still remember you here.
Oh, they do, which is kind of crazy.
That drops in for a strike at 93.
It seemed like a blink of an eye that I was here.
I bet it does.
Yeah, just gone.
Probably your Red Sox career too.
Yes. Yeah.
But you'll be back in town. Not this weekend, but the weekend after, right?
Right at the end of July. We're having I believe we're having an 07 reunion.
Celebration of the 2007 World Series champs. 1-1. And he got a piece. Yankees beat Cincinnati 9-5. Tampa Bay knocked out Baltimore 5-1. So the Red Sox will have to win to maintain a 1-game lead over New York heading into the weekend. They'll have Thursday off and then begin a series with Kansas City on Friday. Back home in Boston.
Well, after long travel, you're going to face the Royals, who are playing well, and Vargas on the hill. We're going to counter with Price. So that's going to be a really good pitch ball game. Price throws the ball really well in Fenway Park. I mean, he did as a visitor, but as a home guy, he's been really good.
Price will pitch on Friday in Game 1. Bogart's on deck. The "Let's Go Red Sox" chant begins in the 1-2. Down goes Moreland, so his problems continue. As he fans, he is officially 0 for 3 on the day. Back-to-back Ks by Pagan.
Well, this young man's, he got himself into a jam, and now he's doing everything possible to get out of it. And that's not a hittable pitch, but it's just somewhere just above, a good strike zone. It's good location. Very enticing pitch.
Xander Bogaerts now. Socks that one in the air, but foul. He's gone 0 for 3. Last time up, he did hit the ball hard, but right back at the pitcher.
Yeah, he swatted that one pretty good, and Moore just got lucky and stuck his glove out and hit him in the glove. Threw him out at first base. Xander really needs to get off the schneid here.
And 0-1. And hit hit very gently towards second. Maybe trouble. Here's the bare man. And got him at first base on a bang play. Now the Red Sox may want to take a look at that play. John Farrell's thinking about it and decides he will not have it reviewed. So the Red Sox loaded the bases with nobody out, 2 strikeouts, and then this play to nip him. As Bogaerts is retired, the Red Sox fail to score. Our game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Red Sox have the lead. They had a chance to really put this game on ice when you think about it. On top 4-0. But loaded up the bases and failed to score. You know, Moreland and Bogaerts back to back in the lineup, both of them scuffling at the same time. Well, Sale was terrific again. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 11 strikeouts.
Yeah, he did some really good high points. Sale threw the ball really well. Devers with a home run, and Jackie Bradley Jr. just 2 really good hits.
And Sandy Leon with a 2-run homer. So Blaine Boyer coming out of the bullpen, and the Mariners are delighted that Chris Sale is no longer on the mound. But Blaine's been a guy who's been very tough to hit when he's been healthy.
And according to himself, he's healthy. He's ready to roll. He was chomping at the bit a little bit yesterday, wanting to throw.
Allowing no runs in 34 of 46 games. That goes flying into the stands on the swing and the miss. Tell you what, we need that guy in Anaheim the other day who caught that bat one-handed.
Yeah, how about that catch? I mean, just and he has water in his other hand. He just kind of reached up. I'm not sure if he was protecting himself or just trying to make a good catch. It's good distance on the bat toss right here.
Fouled off, actually. Foul ball right into the face mask of Paul Nart.
Yeah. That's the second good one we've seen on this road trip.
Espinosa is struck out and fly to right, 0 for 2. Robinson Cano sitting this one out today, at least at the outset, with Chris Sale going.
You know, Boyer doesn't look like he throws as hard as he throws. I mean, he's got a nice smooth motion. That ball's really jumping out of his hand. That last pitch was at 96, and that was inside on the hands.
2-2, down he goes, strike 3. Time for a game break now, brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Here's TC. All right, Tom, thank you very much. Officially, as of this moment, they're a half game behind the Red Sox, pending the outcome of this one. It'll go back to a game if the Sox pull out the win. And they're up 4-0.
Well, this is about the time everybody starts making moves. And, the momentum shifts. Teams playing together. Win streaks, losing streaks. We hit a little low spot here on this road trip. Unfortunately, we're kind of giving a few games away.
Red Sox, I think, could certainly say that happened last night, early this morning. 13-inning game and dropped them to 1-4 on the trip.
Absolute heartbreaker last night. We were so close right there.
However, Red Sox didn't appear to wallow in it. They came back, scored some early runs today, and they had Chris Sale going. A pop up, Pedroia battling the sun a bit, but Dustin hauls it in. So they're 2 down. Friday at 6:30. Don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live, presented by DCU. Take a look at the newest Red Sox, Eduardo Nunez. He will join the club at Fenway on Friday. DCU is Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? So 2 away. Gamble the batter, 1 for 3 today. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning on a sunlit afternoon in Seattle.
Well, Mr. Nunez has got to be excited. You go from last to first. That's always a positive.
He's also coming to the Red Sox playing very, very well and really hitting the ball. Bruce Bochy, his former manager now at the Giants, was lauding his performance at the time of the trade late last night.
That's a great endorsement. I mean, if Bochy's talking to you about you well, you know you're playing well.
He's a great manager.
Yes, he is.
One of the best guys in baseball and the largest head in baseball.
I wasn't going to go there, but it's a true fact.
I think if you can pull that off and you get a proper helmet and hat for that, you should brag about it.
I could see the hat actually happening. I'm not sure how they got the helmet.
It's a true story. He played for several teams in his major league career. Bruce was a catcher, and he had to have the helmet sent with him because they couldn't make one that large everywhere he went. So they simply painted the new team colors and logo on that helmet.
I could so see that.
That's a true story.
I could see that for sure.
That's a big lid.
Yeah, he's not a really small man. So I guess you need a large head to be a large guy.
Big guy, big-hearted guy, and one of the most intelligent managers I've ever met. Great job with that Giant team. Two of them sucked into right field and down for a base hit. So Gamelon, for the second time, he continues to show he's one of the better young hitters in baseball. Friday, an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors. Charlie travels to the Mountaintop Inn and Resort in Vermont. The mad fisherman fishes like he's never been and encounters a lot of obstacles. Can he find his fishing groove? Find out an all-new Charlie Moore Outdoors, Friday night, 11:30 at Benesson Sports Today.
Still not going to reveal the obstacles, are you?
I know what they are. I can't reveal them.
Okay.
You've got to tune in. There's Nelson Cruz. He is 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a pop-up. It's this one a mile in the air, but not all that deep to left. Benintendi there to make the catch. So a nice return for Boyer. We move on to the ninth. It is 4-0 Boston. World Championship season, game number 103. The Red Sox beat Cleveland 7-1. Tim Wakefield earned his 12th win of the season. Kevin Youkilis hit his 10th home run, and Coco Crisp knocked in 2 to pace the Red Sox offense. Ball club at that point was running like clockwork.
Yes. A well-oiled machine.
Played that way all year, on the way to winning the ring. Steve Cishek coming out of the bullpen, and will do battle with Leon, and then Devers, and then Holt. Red Sox leading 4-0. Sandy with a 2-run blast in the 4th inning, his 6th home run of the year.
Well, he just picks out a curveball and just whacks the snot out of it. It's awesome. Great carry. Good exclamation point.
Well, one of the offensive highlights of the day, certainly that swing. Number 1 has to be from the man on deck, Rafael Devers, in his 2nd major league game, his 1st major league hit. And he led off the 3rd inning with a long home run. Also added a base hit.
Well, they've still got, he's hit the ball out of the yard, and they have a serious pull defense on this guy. And last night he goes with the line drive by the shortstop for when we went ahead in that game. So he has proven he can go the other way. I'm not sure why they play him in such a pull fashion.
The 3-1. Today marking the end of a stretch of 14 games in 13 days for the Sox. Finally an off day on Thursday, and then a stretch of 24 games in 24 days out of the All-Star break will continue. As part of it recently was the doubleheader with the Yankees, a pop-up in left center. Radio charging, coming on Gamble, and he'll take over. 1 down. So Devers coming up, looking back at his home run, which traveled 427 feet in the 3rd inning.
Well, when he hit this home run, he made an adjustment right here off this foul ball. You can see him. He's like, get your hands going right there. The next pitch, next fastball, and he does. Straightaway center, 427, and it's in the books.
They did recover the baseball. And the last time we saw it, Dana Levangie had it, Red Sox bullpen coach. They had handed it to Dana. And we saw it disappear in his back pocket.
And then Hembree and Barnes came over, and they were checking to see if there was a flat spot on it.
They'll roll out here, 2 down.
I mean, if I had a good guess, it's probably still out there. They still got it.
I bet you that's probably true. I think somebody said that Mike Brenly, the bullpen catcher, put it in a bag, and eventually Mike will make sure it gets to him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Be a nice presentation somewhere, and maybe a bottle of champagne to go along with it. You know, that'd be good.
I like the way you think. It's quite a ceremony. Brock Holt here, he is 1 for 4 with a base hit.
It's probably not that he's going to drink it, because he's 20.
That's right.
They just may pour it over his head.
He's had a big day.
He deserves it. Played well last night.
I thought last night what really took me back a little bit was how smooth he was defensively.
Absolutely. After the first ground ball that he fielded at second base.
On the right side, he bobbled out a little bit. He did get the out, so no harm done there. But the plays he made at third, he made like he'd been there at the big league level for a while.
Yeah, extremely smooth. Very confident with the glove. You know, I can see why they're high on this guy.
Pitch, and this one popped up. First baseman coming down the line. A catcher, however, Ruiz lunges and can't get it.
Yeah, that one just got straight lost in the sun. That's a nasty sun. That ball went up. Ruiz had his mask and his glove close to his face just so he could get a glimpse of it. It's easy to say. Real deep sky, as they say.
Yep, bright and sunny. It's been that way throughout the series. 2 fouled back in the daytime here. The weather has been spectacular. Night times have been great. Mariners took the first 2 games of the series last night at 13, but the Red Sox have bounced back to take a 4-0 lead here in the 9th inning in the finale. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC Tim and Lenny will break down Chris Sale's outstanding start. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason. With the win, Sale goes to 13-4. The Red Sox bullpen locks it up.
Well, the way these guys have been throwing, it's I'm not going to say it's for sure, but that's pretty close to for sure.
Ball to the right side. Espinosa will dig it and retire the side. By the way, Sale's ERA with his performance today dipped to 2.37.
That's quality.
Red Sox baseball on NESN is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Sox are closing in on a victory here, which would snap a 4-game skid, leading 4-0 here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Boyer stays on as Valencia flicks one foul out of play. On the afternoon, he is 0 for 3. He was one of the 11 strikeout victims of Chris Sale. Well, Sale was in there for 7 innings, only 3 hits off the left-hander, no runs. He walked only 1 man.
Boyer's throwing the ball really well. Looks really good.
We were talking about him earlier. It's not as if he's unhittable. I mean, he has a lot of 290 batting average, but he doesn't give up many runs. He may give up hits, but not runs.
Well, I think it's just, that's the Bulldog heart in him. You get him in the corner and he starts making a few better pitches, better locations, and gets guys out.
Been around a while. He's appeared in 413 games between Atlanta, St. Louis, Arizona, the Mets, San Diego, the Twins, Milwaukee, and now the Red Sox.
That's a lot of teams. That's a lot of stops.
A lot of unis.
Man, I'd hate to see his office. I mean, all those up on the wall. You couldn't even hang them side by side. You'd have to hang them back to back to back.
Seager on deck, and then Heredia. And the 0-2 off the mid of Leon. Sunday on a special pitching episode of NESN Clubhouse. We look at different types of pitchers' gloves. Plus, Heath Hembry makes his small talk debut. Catch it all on NESN Clubhouse Sunday at noon on NESN. Presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts.
Talking about a very personal thing right there, with your glove.
It sure is.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone break in a glove pretty close to the exact same way.
How'd you do it?
Well, sometimes I would rub some shaving cream on the palm, and then I would go into the batting cage if they had like a pitching machine in there, and just start it and just catch baseballs until it break in. Or during the middle of the season, if I broke a lace or couldn't get it fixed, I would get another one and I'd shag with it for a while and then slowly bring it into the game.
2-2 pop foul out of play. So you had your gamer.
You had your gamer.
And at least one back.
And yeah, your BP model or your shagger. Some guys go with an outfielder's mitt. Some guys, they use a first baseman's mitt. Some guys use a catcher's mitt. Something different. I mean, I know guys in the bullpen, they would take their glove and literally, face the open top where the web is and the fingers point.
Fly ball, well hit left field. Benintendi all the way to the track. He has room to make the play. Valencia flies out deep, one gone.
And they would set it on the bench, so in just a fashion where it was facing the game. And after a while, you're like, dude, what are you doing? And it was, well, he's got to watch the game. He's got to pay attention to the game.
The glove does.
The glove does. Yeah.
And they were serious?
Yeah, it's a heart attack.
Known a lot of baseball players. I absolutely believe that's true.
Yeah.
Talk about superstitious. Here's Seager. He's popped up, struck out, and popped up again.
I had a weighted ball that John Sullivan gave me, my first bullpen coach, to help me stretch out my arm. I finally got it when I went through St. Louis. I had them cover it with leather and make it look like a baseball, and it looked like an old Frankenstein baseball, but it weighed 4 pounds. And I put it in my glove, and then I put my baseball in my mitt on top of that.
He's a base hit to center field, kind of slapped into the outfield off the bat of Seager, so he's on for the first time today. Now the Bruins offseason is heating up. Billy and Andy will break down the latest on Ryan Spooner's future in Boston. Don't miss Bruins Summer Face-Off live tonight at 7:30 after Red Sox post-game coverage. Brought to you by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals.
I mean, everybody's got their little tendencies of things that they need to do, or the way they do things, and how they get ready for the game. You know, everybody's a little bit different. And some people say that they're a superstitious deal, and some people say it's a routine.
Well, activity in the bullpen. It's Craig Kimbrell with a runner on at first base, and Heredia coming up. And Heredia's kind of in trouble in the series. He has a double, and he's been hit by a pitch today. I wonder if we might see Kimbrell at some point.
Well, that's a possibility for sure. Threw the ball really well last night.
He had 3 strikeouts, Kimbrell did, in a game that went 13 innings.
And we haven't seen him much on this road trip, so he's well rested. And with the day off tomorrow, it's a real good possibility.
Mookie Betts got the day off today, which is a rarity. John Farrell wanting to give him a couple of days off back-to-back with the off day Thursday. 1 down, and Heredia looks at a strike.
Well, I do believe, you know, they're giving him a little bit of time to warm up, and I'm sure it doesn't take him long to get there. But if Heredia reaches base, you can almost bet that they're going to bring him in.
And Blaine Boyer with the 0-1. Now this score holds 4-0. It'll be the 5th time in the 6 games these two franchises have played against each other this year where it ended in a shutout.
Wow. One side or the other, huh?
Totally. The 1-1. And he wouldn't chase.
Well, he's definitely trying to, you know, paint that outside corner just so he will roll this ball over.
Just under 40,000 here today. 39,797. Biggest crowd of the series. Red Sox have made sure they have not had a lot to shout about. Here's the 2-1. He's down to 3-1.
It looks like Kimbrell's ready in the bullpen just in case here.
Well, the Sox need the win to have a 1-game lead over the Yankees headed back home, because the Yankees beat Cincinnati today 9-5. Runner at first and 1 down. The 3-1 pitch, and he walked him. And John Farrell is coming out. So Seager with a base hit. Heredia with ball 4, and Kimbrell will make an appearance. With 1 away in the 9th inning. So the all-star closer coming in, and we will take the break as well here in the 9th inning. Red Sox ahead 4-0 in Seattle, and more in a moment. Bob's Discount Furniture is going to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every game saved. Everybody saves at Bob's. It's the only choice for untouchable furniture value. Available in-store or at mybobs.com. Couple of men on as Kimberlin Harris, Seager at second, and Heredia at first. With one down in the ninth. Craig working last night, a scoreless 10th inning as he struck out 3. But he has not worked very often. That was his first appearance since the 18th of July.
Yeah, he was kind of vacant there for this road trip till last night. It's good to see him in back-to-back games. I'm sure he's happy about it too. Sometimes you sit there and you think too much and you assume too much instead of just going out and getting a chance to work every day.
He's 24 saves, blew that one right by Haniger, who has gone 0 for 2 with a walk.
And as coaches know, the more guys pitch in the bullpen when they get into the game, the rhythm they're in, they're sharper. Sometimes you sit there for 4 or 5 days and you don't pitch, and then you come in and you're just not as sharp as you'd like to be.
0-2. 100 miles an hour with that fastball. We saw him hit 101 on a few occasions last night.
Well, I watched Boyer come off the mound after Kimbrel came in. He wasn't happy. He's a competitor. He wants to get this thing. He wants to finish this thing up. And he just, by the time he got to third base, he stuck his face in his glove and he was just kind of angry at himself. He hasn't pitched in a game for a while, so it does make a difference when you're not out there on a regular basis.
Well, just off the DL today, the 0-2, and down he goes, strike 3. At 99, he elevated the heater and he blew away Haniger, and there are 2 gone.
And he threw the ball great. I think he had great location. It's not like he was all over the zone. He had, he was just off the plate. So I thought he threw the ball really well coming off the DL.
2 down, Ruiz the hitter. He has struck out twice and grounded out to second. So Red Sox 1 out away from a victory. First one pounded in there for strike 1.
And I will say, since he hadn't pitched the whole road trip since last night, and now his first couple of hitters, he's a whole lot sharper today than he was last night.
Right-hand batters are now 7 for 83 against him. And that apparently missed, but I think the home plate umpire Nard actually missed that.
I'm not sure how that missed. It's almost like he flinches and doesn't see. I don't know how you not see that.
It's a great pitch.
That started down the middle and ended down the middle.
So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 9th. Red Sox looking for a shutout. And now 1 strike away from that. One and 2. Two and 2. We'd like to extend a special hello to Francis Erickson of Worcester, Mass. 84 years old and watches every Red Sox game. His son Gary works for the Mariners here in Seattle.
Hello, Francis.
Red Sox looking to say goodbye, Seattle, with a victory with 2-2. And there it is. Kyle missed strike 3. The Red Sox win on a shutout. Chris Sale went the first 7. He picks up the win. Sale improving to 13-4. He was outstanding yet again, TC, and the Red Sox needed that one to snap a 4-game skid and are headed home.
Thank you.